clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it.
I got y'all. I told y'all stuff. I'm not bothering nobody. I want peace. Y'all following me for no reason. I asked y'all next. Please leave me alone.
I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money.
In a jaw-dropping revelation, ESPN's outspoken commentator Stephen A. Smith has reportedly delivered the final blow to the financial empire of Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Known for his extravagant lifestyle, relentless self-promotion, and undefeated boxing record, Mayweather has long been seen as the embodiment of wealth and flamboyance in the sports world. However, according to Smith, the glittering image was merely a facade, one that is now collapsing under the weight of bankruptcy, IRS, investigations, and a growing number of lawsuits.
We can get space. I didn't got nothing. Please, listen, I just want to go in there. We're doing our jobs too, man. Please leave us alone. Okay, just want to comment.
The phrase "he's done" quickly began trending across social media platforms after Smith's explosive claims during a fiery segment on First Take, sparking a storm of debate, speculation, and concern over Mayweather's once seemingly untouchable empire.
Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd "Money" Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
To understand the significance of this financial collapse, one must first grasp the magnitude of Mayweather's rise. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Floyd Mayweather Jr. turned professional in 1996 and quickly made a name for himself as a technical genius inside the ring. His defensive mastery, lightning-fast reflexes, and strategic brilliance allowed him to retire undefeated with a 50-0 record. Nicknamed Money, and for good reason, Mayweather revolutionized the business side of boxing. In 2006, he bought himself out of his contract with Top Rank for $750,000, a decision that turned out to be career-defining. He then launched his own promotional company, Mayweather Promotions, taking full control over his fight earnings and pay-per-view revenues. Over the years, Mayweather headlined some of the most lucrative bouts in boxing history. His 2015 clash with Manny Pacquiao generated over $600 million, and 2 years later, his crossover fight with UFC star Conor McGregor brought in another $300 million. At one point, Forbes even named him the highest-paid athlete in the world. But as Stephen A. Smith boldly stated, "It doesn't matter how much money you make if you spend like you'll never run out."
Glamour, the flossing, the pomp and circumstances surrounding everything that culminated in Saturday night's Mayweather versus McGregor fight, there were a few sightings that were relatively low-key in comparison, but more significant than many may realize. At the weigh-in, there was a two-time NBA champion, Draymond Green, and star guard Paul George. On fight night, of course, there was LeBron James, James Harden, Isaiah Thomas, and a few others. And none of them were there just to pay homage to Mayweather, the fighter. It's the businessman in Mayweather they actually love even more. As the sun clearly set on the boxing career of Mayweather, many can reflect on a lot of things about the man. He wasn't a Mike Tyson-like knockout artist, or even Tommy the Hitman Hearns. To many, he wasn't even Sugar Ray Leonard. He certainly can't be confused with Muhammad Ali or any other fighter who's ever been socially conscious. No doubt he was guilty of domestic violence, as our very own The Undefeated accurately pointed out. He definitely had his share of boring fights that didn't give the people what they actually wanted to see. But that ain't the legacy these athletes are paying attention to.
Mayweather's lifestyle wasn't just about luxury. It was about excess. Excess on a level rarely seen, even among the world's wealthiest athletes. His spending habits weren't just private indulgences. They became part of his brand. Every purchase, every Instagram flex, was a reminder that he was Money Mayweather. He treated private jets like taxis. He didn't just own a supercar, he owned fleets of Bugattis and Rolls-Royces. His life was a non-stop display of unfiltered opulence. One of the most iconic symbols? An $18 million diamond-encrusted watch. Not a timepiece, but a conversation piece. Nights out in Las Vegas strip clubs reportedly cost him $25,000 or more per visit. Not as a splurge, but as routine. Mayweather owned multiple mansions across Beverly Hills, Las Vegas, and Miami. Lavishly decorated, often vacant, yet always maintained at immense cost. He was infamous for traveling with duffel bags stuffed with stacks of cash, flaunting them on social media. Whether it was laying out bundles of $100 bills or posting videos of himself counting millions, the message was clear. His wealth was untouchable. But behind the glamour, red flags were waving. Financial advisors and analysts warned that even this level of wealth has limits. Such a high-spending lifestyle is only sustainable if income flows match or exceed outflow, one expert said. And that becomes nearly impossible once the fight purses stop. When the checks stop coming in, the liabilities remain. A former advisor noted, a haunting line that now feels like a grim prophecy.
Paul, name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury.
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6 rounds. Big difference.
During a fiery episode of First Take, Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. I've seen the documents. I've spoken to the people. I'm telling y'all, Floyd Mayweather is in serious trouble. Staring straight into the camera with trademark intensity, Smith let loose. This ain't just rumors anymore. The IRS wants him. Creditors are chasing him. He's liquidating assets left and right. And what's worse, he ain't got the fight money anymore to bail himself out. He's done. Smith revealed that Mayweather is allegedly facing a multi-million-dollar lien from the IRS, has taken out loans against several of his properties, and is years behind on tax payments. The situation is compounded by failed business ventures and mounting lawsuits from angry investors. Perhaps the most alarming revelation? Mayweather is reportedly quietly offloading assets. Rare luxury cars, high-end watches, even pieces from his famous jewelry collection, all in what appears to be a desperate bid to settle his spiraling debts. Smith pointed to a telling shift in Mayweather's public behavior. You don't go from bragging about spending $1.4 million in a single day to suddenly going radio silent about your money, unless something's wrong. The once flamboyant boxer, known for posting videos of himself counting stacks of cash and lounging in diamond-studded opulence, has grown uncharacteristically quiet, and that silence is deafening. Mayweather's troubles with the IRS aren't new. Back in 2017, he made headlines for filing a petition to delay a tax payment from 2015 until after the McGregor fight, claiming insufficient liquidity, despite having reportedly earned hundreds of millions. At the time, many brushed it off as a strategic move. Now, insiders say that was just the tip of the iceberg.
There's no such thing as fake. I'm working for ESPN. We're broadcasting the Mayweather-McGregor fight live. And to this day, they will tell you that's a record. That's the biggest fight ever. That thing was sold out. That place was, people were dressed up as empty seats. And I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out because that's what's on the screen. And I go, it's not even close. Yeah. This isn't like, it's pretty much full. This isn't, there's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match. And the guys that wrote the checks.
But why didn't it sell out? I mean, it's such two big draws. They promoted it so well.
All anybody's talking about.
Yeah, there's still a number.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big it draws, there's still a number. If this guy got 100 million, this guy got 100 million, then you got to advertise it, promote it. You got to bring
it's the guarantees that kill everything. If they were just getting percentages, then obviously everybody would.
You're saying the seats were empty. I can understand it not making the money, but the seats being empty seems
peculiar.
Crazy.
Yeah, and there's nothing in the world where you have a pay-per-view hit that didn't have a live audience hit. Like if your live audience is your first focus group, isn't sold out, you didn't do pay-per-view numbers.
Sure.
But boxing will still claim that to this day. They still to this day claim that that's number one. And if you want to be the biggest pay-per-view in boxing history, all you have to do is claim it.
Before Floyd Mayweather became the larger-than-life figure known as Money Mayweather, he was already grappling with serious financial problems. Despite his undefeated record and multi-million-dollar fight purses, reports began to surface that Mayweather was facing potential jail time over unpaid taxes. In a desperate attempt to avoid prison, he reportedly borrowed $2 million just to make a dent in his mounting tax debt. This wasn't the story of a savvy businessman or a financial mastermind, as the public was often led to believe. Instead, it painted the picture of a man teetering on the edge of financial collapse, struggling to sustain a lavish lifestyle while neglecting the most basic tenets of financial responsibility. Rather than investing, diversifying, or planning for life after boxing, Mayweather poured his fortune into luxury cars, high-end jewelry, and multiple multi-million-dollar mansions. His desire to flaunt wealth became central to his identity, creating an illusion of financial invincibility. But behind the scenes, serious mismanagement was quietly spiraling out of control. The $2 million loan, intended to pay off the IRS and keep him out of jail, only deepened his financial instability. It was a clear sign that Mayweather's reckless spending and lack of long-term planning were catching up to him. This marked the beginning of a troubling pattern, a cycle of high earnings quickly consumed by even higher expenses, with little attention paid to sustainability. And today, that pattern appears to have reached a breaking point.
Eric B. were at, from Eric B. and Rakim, we were at the Mondrian. Floyd Mayweather was there. He had some tax issues. He was about to go to jail, but that's before Money Mayweather, that's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Got you.
He was speaking to E. He needed a couple of $1 million to stay out of jail. I called my man Neil, who I was rocking with heavy. He owns Scunty, the hair accessory company. Everybody thought it was crazy. They said, yo, loan me $2 million. I want to sign Floyd. He flew out, loaned me the $2 million, and from there on, we were in the boxing business.
At one point, Floyd Mayweather reportedly owed a staggering $22.2 million to the IRS, a debt that raised serious questions about his financial management and exposed a stark contradiction between his public persona and private reality. For a man who loudly claimed to be the wealthiest athlete alive, such a massive tax bill was hard to ignore. While Mayweather flaunted a life of extreme luxury, private jets, fleets of exotic cars, multi-million-dollar shopping sprees, this looming IRS debt suggested something troubling. That much of his so-called wealth was either mismanaged, exaggerated, or tied up in non-liquid assets. The revelation hit at the core of the Money Mayweather brand. His identity was built around the idea of unmatched financial dominance, but the inability to pay taxes on time painted a different picture, not of a financial mastermind, but of a man dangerously out of sync with the realities of wealth management. Rather than reinforcing the image of a shrewd businessman, the $22.2 million debt hinted at a facade, a meticulously curated illusion of endless riches, crumbling under the weight of real-world obligations. It served as a wake-up call. Even the highest-paid athletes in the world aren't immune to the consequences of poor financial planning. And in Mayweather's case, it became clear that a flashy lifestyle doesn't necessarily equal financial stability.
Recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest-earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Even rapper 50 Cent, who was once a close friend and business associate of Floyd Mayweather, didn't hesitate to speak out about the boxer's financial downfall in several interviews. 50 Cent painted a grim picture of Mayweather's lavish spending habits, alleging that Floyd had squandered huge sums of money on jewelry, private jets, strip clubs, and, most damaging of all, gambling. According to 50 Cent, the problem wasn't just the amount of money being spent, but the reckless way it was being handled. He explained how Mayweather would drop millions without a second thought, as if the money would never run out. What made 50 Cent's remarks particularly impactful was his past as part of Floyd's inner circle. His perspective wasn't that of an outsider, but someone who had seen Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle firsthand. When 50 publicly stated that Floyd had blown through his wealth and was now broke, it sent shockwaves throughout both the entertainment and sports industries. This revelation painted a stark contrast to the image Mayweather had long projected, a man impervious to financial struggles. Coming from a longtime friend turned outspoken critic, 50 Cent's words added weight to the mounting rumors that Mayweather's financial empire was crumbling behind the scenes. Omani.
Going completely broke. And not just broke, but millions and millions of dollars in debt. And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but trust me, I have legitimate proof. Watch this.
He asked me to help him, so I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation isn't valid. So I could actually, technically, it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because he's just not. I just said it, and he won't be able to figure out that I could do that.
Damn, you and this guy, man. I thought y'all was good again.
We are good. I just don't understand why he having the conversation. How am I coming up in conversation? I don't even care about what they're doing.
So there's still some static.
No, it only happens when it's fight time.
Got it.
It's time to build some type of energy or some sort of press. Right. It's time to make a fight, and then that happens.
So through the BX Fight Club, you met someone,
Isaac
right? Because they had to legalize it on paper to turn it into like a dark show, like when they don't have television involved with a boxing event. Even Floyd, when you make yourself like we got issues over your anger, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
Oscar De La Hoya, a former rival and fellow boxing icon, has openly criticized Floyd Mayweather for continuing to participate in exhibition matches. In a video shared on Instagram, De La Hoya urged Mayweather to stop embarrassing himself. Addressing him directly, he said, "Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport, but you need to stop humiliating yourself with these exhibitions. I understand that life can be tough and costly, but come on, man. Prioritize your legacy." This statement came in response to Mayweather's recent exhibition bout against John Gotti III, which ended in controversy and was met with jeers from the audience. De La Hoya's remarks echo a wider concern that Mayweather's ongoing post-retirement appearances may damage the impeccable legacy he spent decades crafting inside the ring. By continuing with these exhibition fights, Mayweather risks diminishing his past achievements and reshaping how the public views his career. De La Hoya's message acts as a cautionary reminder about the value of preserving one's legacy, rather than chasing fleeting attention or financial rewards.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
In early 2025, Floyd Mayweather's attempt to highlight his philanthropic image by donating to homeless shelters in Los Angeles was met with widespread skepticism. Although the gesture initially received praise, confusion soon followed when Mayweather posted on Instagram, claiming he was still in Dubai at the same time the donation was reportedly made. This inconsistency led many to doubt the sincerity of his charitable act, raising suspicions that it might have been a calculated effort to restore his public image amid growing financial scrutiny. The controversy deepened when Gervonta Davis, a former protege of Mayweather, made a shocking revelation. Davis alleged that Mayweather was not on an international tour as he had claimed, but was actually being detained in Dubai due to unpaid debts, primarily linked to luxury jewelry and other expensive items. These claims gained further traction when veteran boxing agent Rick Glaser confirmed that Mayweather was indeed being held by the Dubai court system over significant debts unrelated to his boxing career. Glaser emphasized that Dubai takes financial obligations very seriously, suggesting that Mayweather was struggling to resolve the matter without success.
Comes amid, rumors of Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai because he owes people money. And, these are coming from trustworthy sources, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, people who know about Floyd Mayweather's inner life. But back to TMZ. So they reported Floyd Mayweather was courtside for last night's pivotal Clippers versus Mavericks game, but before money got to the arena, he was handing it out, blessing 3 homeless men with $30K. Now, there are no pictures, there is no video of this happening, but there is an official TMZ article, and TMZ usually gets it right. TMZ also said, we're told Mayweather began talking to the guys and decided he wanted to help, so he busted out his backpack and blessed each guy with 10 racks. I don't want to show my face, but Floyd just gave us $30,000, Reynolds, one of the men, said after receiving the gift.
Adding weight to Davis's assertions, veteran boxing agent Rick Glaser claimed that Mayweather was indeed being held by Dubai's court system due to substantial debts unrelated to boxing. Glaser emphasized that financial liabilities are taken extremely seriously in Dubai, indicating that Mayweather was making desperate attempts to resolve the matter, though without success. In what appeared to be a move to counter these allegations, Mayweather made a high-profile appearance at an NBA game in Los Angeles, where he reportedly donated $30,000 to 3 homeless individuals. However, this act of generosity was also met with suspicion, as it coincided with the timeline of his alleged detainment, prompting questions about the genuineness of his philanthropic efforts and whether they were orchestrated to deflect attention from his financial troubles. Further complicating the situation, Mayweather has made bold statements regarding his wealth, claiming ownership of 62 buildings valued at $42 million. These declarations have come under intense scrutiny, with critics arguing that they may be attempts to portray financial stability amid growing signs of monetary distress. The public fallout with Davis, combined with these contentious claims, has cast a shadow over Mayweather's legacy, raising concerns about the sustainability of his extravagant lifestyle and the transparency of his financial affairs.
Turns out that the rumors were true, and Floyd Mayweather has been trapped in Dubai for the last 50 days. Gervonta Davis was the first to claim it. Now multiple insider sources have confirmed that he is in fact trapped in Dubai for a debt that has nothing to do with boxing. After doing a little digging, it seems that someone in his camp, while he was shopping for jewelry in Dubai, stole one of the pieces, got away with it, and then blocked all communication with Mayweather. Since then, Floyd has already paid for the jewelry, but they refuse to let him go until they get their piece back. And allegedly, this guy right here is the thief that started this whole mess.
Stephen A. Smith's report highlights a recent filing revealing that Mayweather still owes over $52 million in back taxes, covering the period from 2015 to 2022. According to the report, the IRS has begun freezing some of his financial accounts and has initiated investigations into his assets. Financial analyst Chris Wan underscored the intense scrutiny the IRS places on individuals burdened with significant tax debt. He explained that when someone owes such a substantial amount, the IRS becomes an ever-present force, meticulously auditing every financial move and making it extremely difficult for the individual to manage their finances until the debt is fully addressed. This level of oversight can become overwhelming as the IRS closely examines all sources of income and expenditures.
There may be another reason Floyd Mayweather has agreed to fight Conor McGregor. ESPN reporting that Mayweather, get this, still has not paid his taxes for 2015. We don't know how much money Mayweather owes, but he's asking the IRS for a break until the fight, the end of August. Mayweather made about $220 million from his fight with Manny Pacquiao. That was back in 2015. He's expected to make about that much for the McGregor fight. Maybe he should have stayed retired and paid his taxes.
Yeah, paying taxes, usually that catches up with you if you don't do that.
Drop your thoughts below. Let us know in the comments.